Hey guys, it's Bree and welcome back to another video. Now today I decided to film my July manga wrap-up. So this is all of the significant manga that I read this month. I decided to limit this to 5 different volume/series that I read, just because I felt like if I included more it might just be too cumbersome of a video. In the future I might expand this to more volumes or even everything that I read, but for right now I'm just comfortable with doing 5 different volumes. Let's get started. The first series that I read in July was Orange by Ichigo Takano. Now, this series was so emotional. It was so good. Like, I loved it, but also I feel like I cried at least 5 different times in reading the series. And yes, I did pick up Orange the Complete Collection Volume 1, Volume 2, as well as Orange Future, and I just binged all of it for the most part, except I had to take breaks because I guess I was crying too much. My family was like, what is wrong? Like, why are you crying? And I'm like, because of my book. And they're like, why are you reading this book if it makes you cry so much? And I'm like, because it's so good. That's why I have to. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Orange, which I feel like a lot of people have, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's about a girl who receives letters from herself from the future that are describing different things that she should do to prevent her friend from getting into this accident. And that's all I really want to say about it without spoiling the series. Very emotional, very good. I loved it. On to the next series. The next series that I picked up in July was Drifting Dragons by Taku Kuwabara. Now, this series really surprised me. I went into it with basically no expectations. I just saw the cover of it and I thought it looked very cool. It follows a group of people who are dragon hunters and they're in an airship, and that's really cool. There's sky pirates, cool dragon designs, airships, everything that I like, I guess. This series has major Nausicaa of the Wind Valley Studio Ghibli vibes. Just, I don't know, I think it's the uniforms that they're wearing, as well as how the dragons are drawn and how I guess everything is drawn. That's kind of the vibes, and I love it. I think that you would like this series if you liked Dungeon Meshi. There is a huge cooking component because for the most part dragons are hunted for their meat as well as their hide and oils, and it's also one of those things where it's really lucrative to hunt dragons, but at the same time it's so dangerous and usually your ship just gets destroyed. So any money that you make from this industry, it basically goes back into paying back damages, which I always find really amusing for characters. Yeah, so I highly recommend checking out Drifting Dragons if anything that I said is of interest to you. On to the next series. The next series I'm going to talk about is Claymore. I picked up the entire box set this month and I do not regret it. It was a humongous purchase, but I figured a lot of people who liked Berserk, which I like Berserk, said that this series was very similar to that and that I should definitely check it out. So I did. Also, Claymore is by Norihiro Yagi. This series is about Claymore, which are girls. It's usually only women who can do this, where they are infused with the flesh of a monster called Yomu, and it makes them very powerful, and then they hunt down the monsters that are called Yomu. And they're kind of like witchers. They're treated basically the same as witchers, where it's very superstitious if you see a claymore because usually they're surrounded by yomu, so a lot of people kind of avoid them or see them as like evil or witches, or it's just awesome. Yeah, if you like Berserk, you'll definitely like this series. I also like that like all of the characters just fight with giant swords. That's awesome. The fight scenes are so cool. So far, I'm on volume 4 and the series is just amazing and I can't wait to check out more of it. Maybe I'll do a full review when I finish the series. And now for the next series. The next book I'm going to be talking about is Star Collector by Tanabe and Sophie Schönhammer? No idea how to pronounce. Good luck to me. So this series is a Tokyopop title, which Tokyopop basically went out of business in North America for quite a long time where basically you just couldn't find them anymore. Their series just like drifted out of existence as well with their publishing logo. Their titles became very hard to find in chapters anywhere, any bookstore, except for secondhand bookstores, but now they're back, which is really exciting. Star Collector really surprised me. I wasn't sure what I was expecting from it. I saw the cover and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty, and it's a BL title, so why not? That's fun. And I read it and I ended up loving it. It was so good. It's basically about this guy who gets broken up with his girlfriend at the beginning of the series because he's seen as kind of lazy and good for nothing, I guess. And he has this like place that he usually goes to smoke and just like chill, but one day there's another guy there with a telescope who's checking out the stars, and they form a fast friendship, and it's fun. I don't really have anything else to say about this other than if you're a big fan of BL and want to check out a manga made by Western manga artists, then I really suggest this one. On to the last book that I'm going to talk about. The last book is The Hound and Other Stories. It is an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation by Go Tanabe. I guess I've always been a little bit interested in H.P. Lovecraft's works. He is the father of all eldritch horror, which is really cool, and I thought it was awesome that it got adapted into a manga. Now, never underrate manga adaptations of classical literature. I find that it's actually a really enjoyable way to experience classical literature. I remember I owned a copy of Twelfth Night, like the William Shakespeare play, as a manga back when I was in high school, and then we ended up studying it in class, but I already knew all about it because I read the manga, so that unit was super easy for me. So pro tip, if you are studying classical literature in high school and you want to understand it better and you like manga, maybe check out if there's a manga adaptation of it. There is, for most stories. This collection of short stories was just amazing. The illustration style is just amazing. It's one of the more realistic styles in manga, and I felt like it really worked for this series. So overall, this book's really fun. I got it on sale, so if you can get it on sale and you're interested in H.P. Lovecraft's work, I highly recommend picking it up. The print quality of this one is specifically different than the standard manga print quality because all of the pages are that nice kind of smooth printed quality. I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, this is the last manga in my manga wrap-up for July. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you liked hearing me ramble about these 5 different manga series. I will probably be doing more reviews in the future, so look out for that. I might also be doing some different types of content on this channel because this channel is basically a place for me to express my love for different things. That's basically all I have for you today. If you have read any of these mangas and you want to talk about it to me, put your comments down below. I am very interested to know if you liked any of these. I hope that you have a great day and I will see you next time. Bye!